Good afternoon, church. So I will just say, I'll start by saying my own belief that has held me back, just based on what Coach Ife told us about. I think that's a good starting point. Mine is, all this will not matter in heaven. At the end of the day, would it really matter in heaven? But of course, I'm learning every day that because God is an excellent God, it will definitely matter in heaven. Oh, and that was for my fitness journey. I'll be like, fitness, show my matasha. So, workplace ethics. Now, ethics are really things that we live by, the guiding principles of what we are known as. So, for example, if someone sees you today, what comes to their mind? Ethics is culture, is a way of life, is how people perceive you, is also what people know of you, what they learn of you, because, of course, perception may be wrong, but people would obviously have an opportunity in one way or the other to know about you. So there's something I typically like to start to do, and just ask yourself a question. Where I work, and for some of us, you might think that, if I'm not going to the office, I'm not doing a 9 to 5, is it not work? You know, this is particularly to people that work in the creative sector or in a structured sector. For example, maybe you are a fashion designer, you are an electrician, or like you're into maybe technical stuff. That's the work that you are doing. What is your ethics in that work? Shout out to all fashion designers that cannot keep to their word. My sister, it seems like you know them. So, again, it's to all walks of life. So whatever it is that you are doing, as long as it's what your hands find to do, whether it's your brain, whatever it is, in whatever measure, it is work. And what defines you by that work? So do a quick assessment in your mind. If you were to go back to the office and then ask people, what do you even think of me? Maybe your customers or your clients. How do they assess you? Or in church, what do people think about you? What are the first, there's something I always ask in an interview before I employ people. I always say, if I were to talk to your best friend, what are the top 3 words they use to describe you? Of course, I know a lot of people say, I'm smart, I'm this. Come on, your best friend. So ask yourself today, like a self-assessment. What are the 3 words that will come to people's mind when they think of your name, when your name comes to mind, when your name is mentioned in a room that you are not in? That, for me, is a reflection of your ethics as a person. That, for me, reflects what you stand for. That, for me, reflects what people associate you with. And you might say, why the hell should I even care? You should care. Because a lot of times, you're in a room where you are not even in rooms where people will mention your name or they will think about you. And those are things that may determine your opportunities that you have access to, how you're able to grow your work, your business. See, now, she has mentioned market women. We've talked about tailors. Of course, they will say, avoid that person. No. Run, no. Because your word is maybe not your bond. They are not able to, you're not reliable. Those are things that people know you for. So when you do that quick assessment, then you ask yourself, in reality, what should be my guiding principle? Because, I said ethics are really your guiding principle. It's a culture, it's who you are, it's how you show up, it's in the manner you show up, it's in just how you do everything. So if you are the type that when you go for meetings, you are 5 minutes late, 2 minutes late, 1 minute late. Sorry to you, but you're a tardy person. And in business, no one wants a tardy person. Last week, I had a meeting with a client. They said the meeting is 8 o'clock. I said, I've not had 8 o'clock meeting in over 4 years. How will I make it? But I had to make it. And guess what? These guys I had meetings with, they were CEOs running big companies, and they were all there. But thank God I was there on the dots like this, 8 o'clock like this. I entered the room, good morning all. I said no, and they were all there. In fact, there was one on the call that was saying, I have to go and drop my son 7:45. I said, see all these people that live in Ikoyi. You are sounding as if is far. But the point is, they could call that meeting because they knew that people would show up for that time. And the meeting started and, we achieved what we wanted to achieve. I'll leave you with this word. One of the core values where I work is excellence. And excellence is a word that is personal to me. If you read the book of Daniel chapter 6, there's something that is just about Daniel. They said, let me just quickly go to it. They said Daniel distinguished himself above the governors. Do you know what it is for you to distinguish yourself above governors? And then they said it was because an excellent spirit was in him. So Daniel was so excellent that they said even the governors wanted to find something against Daniel, but they could not find any fault or error in Daniel because he was excellent. Our God is an excellent God. Though. When during worship, we said how excellent is God's name. So if you are not excellent in your work ethics, please, who is your father? Ask yourself today, who is your father? Who are you portraying? Yoruba people will say it is the steps of the father that the child will take. So today, take a step to tell yourself that in everything that I do, I will be excellent in how I show up, in how I do my job, in how I communicate, in how I carry myself, in what are my guiding principles. And in the workplace, sometimes these lines are very blurred. Sometimes you might have committed to something, but life just happens. But there are ways to always get ahead of those things. Communication, being open, transparency, honesty. And before you know it, you are the preferred, you are the choice. People just naturally gravitate towards you. Lastly, I would say you attract who you are. That thing, I say that is not true. That thing is true. Just make up your mind to start maybe when you've done the assessment, you say, okay, these are the areas I want to change. When you notice that you start having those improvements, you will start having people in your path that would generally or naturally gravitate towards you, or you gravitate towards just because of certain principles that you've chosen to abide by, or you've chosen to map your life or model your life according to. Excellence is not mediocre. And guess what? You can never argue against excellence. So. You can never argue. This one, show workings. This one, the workings are there. So you're not even shalaying. Everybody knows that person. Me, I'm quick to say in my office, I say, you can say Gbeminiyi Shoda is everything, but there are things you cannot say about my work. So today, please decide how you want to be, should I say, labeled. What are the words you want to be associated with you? Choose ye this day how you want to be. Choose ye this day how you want to be described. Choose ye how you want to be described, how you want to be remembered, how you want people to what words you want people to associate you with. It is a game changer. So I will implore us today that as we go about our daily work, it's beyond just earning money. It's beyond that though. It's beyond just any money. It's also in how you earn that money. It's in the ethics of how you earn that money. So let's decide how we want to be described as or associated with. Thank you.